Hey guys, a little early today. I am trying to prep, so while it gets to the time, which is 6 p.m., where I officially start, I will be prepping. So, for those of you that are here, welcome to everybody. As I said, I will be prepping right now, waiting for more people to show up. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Rick. Good to see you guys. Yes, I started a bit early today, but I'm going to be prepping for the gorditas. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to be prepping while it's 6 o'clock, 3 minutes from now. Hello, Debbie, once again. Cynthia, Rick, thank you guys for showing up. Hello, everybody. William. Hello, William. Today we're going to be using the Lancaster number 8 and the Lancaster number 12. We're going to be frying the gorditas, and here we're going to be cooking the steak. So bear with me. I'm just going to prep while 6 o'clock hits. Hello to everybody. Hello to Unwrap a Smile, Debbie, Jeanette, Cynthia, Hippie, Rick. Once again, welcome everybody. So, just so you guys know, I did buy a cabbage. I'm just gonna probably cut it in half and cut this and give it a quick wash. We're gonna be using cabbage instead of lettuce. I prefer the cabbage because it doesn't have that much water content, so it doesn't sog up my not necessarily tortilla, but my gordita while I'm getting it prepped. So bear with me, guys. As I mentioned, I'm just going to get some things prepped, and then we'll officially start the live in just about a minute. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, I am prepping right now to get everything going. I forgot to prep my cabbage, so I am doing that right now. Welcome back, everybody. As I said earlier, for those of you that were here before, this is the Lancaster number 8 and the Lancaster number 10 right over there. I'm going to be frying my gorditas there and also just cooking some steak to go with my gorditas. We're also going to do cheese, cabbage instead of lettuce. And so, yeah, I will pretty much let you guys know how this is prepared, how it's made. I'll go step by step so you guys can see. But just give me a minute while I prep the cabbage, and I'll come back and start talking with you guys. I do hope everybody had a great New Year's also a great Christmas. I know that I've been somewhat absent for that amount of time. I want to say like over 3 weeks now since I did a live. I don't have my computer with me today, but I do have my phone, which allows me to see the chat. So I'm actually reading here the chat while I'm getting things prepped. All right. So as I said earlier, I prefer cabbage because it doesn't retain too much water. It doesn't leak too much water, especially when you're building the gorditas. You're not going to have a soggy gordita if you do lettuce. But for those of you that don't like cabbage, lettuce is obviously a great option as well. All right. All right, guys. So let me bring you guys over yonder. So first thing I did was actually made salsa, which I boiled some tomatillos, which are these green looking tomatoes with a shell, with a shell. I did 2 jalapenos. I did 6 tomatillos, and I boiled those along with a shallot. I did a shallot instead of an onion. You can do a white onion. It doesn't necessarily matter what type of onion. And then after that, I also added chicken bouillon. When everything was boiled, I placed it in the blender and then added chicken bouillon, salt, and some avocado. I think I did 1 avocado, guys, and a little bit of oil, your preference, whether it's olive oil or avocado oil or grapeseed, as I mentioned, whatever oil, just about a teaspoon or a tablespoon of oil. But anyway, so that's the salsa that I made. Oh, I also added cilantro. You don't have to do the cilantro, that's up to you, but that's how I make my salsa. And I don't like it too spicy, so I always go with a jalapeno instead of a serrano. But anyway, that's the salsa. As I mentioned, I just prepped that. And over here we have the dough, which is the masa dough. So let me show you guys which one I used, because you can use several brands. So I'm going to set it down over here. Bear with me. You know, Hippie Longshanks, I love cilantro, but a lot of people say that it tastes like soap. So I know that not a lot of people like it. My dad, which is, 100% Mexican, pretty much eats everything. Pretty much eats anything. The only thing he doesn't like is necessarily cilantro. He's not a big fan of it, which is weird. But anyway, hello to everybody. Hello to James, Rick, Debbie, Papa, Dan, Hippie Longshanks. What's up, date? Honey Badger, Cynthia, Debbie. Hello to everybody. I appreciate you guys being here. So anyway, this is our masa dough, which is the easiest one to buy. Is going to be this one here, guys. This one's the easiest one to buy, which is Maseca. It's masa instant corn masa flour. Not necessarily a flour, but it is a powdery, and kind of like cornmeal, but less grainy. You can see some of that cornmeal in there, like texture in there. But what I like using is that, and then I also do some chicken stock instead of plain water, so it adds a little bit of flavor to your masa, to the dough. Also, I do, so the The instructions, if you get this brand, the instructions here say to do 2 cups. See if I can get that. 2 cups and 1 1/4 cup of water. Instead of the water, though, guys, I like doing chicken stock, as I mentioned earlier. So I do chicken stock, and then also I like adding a little bit of salt, not too much, so about a pinch of salt. And then after that, I also add about 40 grams of, so I'll do, so 2 cups, if you guys weigh it out, which I like doing that. If you guys weigh it out, it's 2 cups is about 240 grams, which what I do is I do 200 grams of the corn masa, and then also I do 40 grams of flour, all-purpose flour, and that kind of helps it become more of a dough, and that, it doesn't, like in my sister, she does it that way, and the reason it's not so like like it has more flexibility to it, I guess you could say. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's more malleable. Like it's not just hard, which is something that I like. So anyway, once you get that, you mix it in, and you need about this consistency where if you take about it, this is how much we're going to be, probably this much. We're going to be using about a golf ball size. So if you turn it into a ball, as you can see here, the consistency needs to be this, where you can place your finger in that and it won't crack. That's how you know that it's good enough. And it needs to be dry to where it's not too sticky, because if it's too sticky, it's not going to work, and you're going to have issues with frying up the masa. Same goes for making tortillas, because you can make tortillas out of this. But so that's one. We're going to be making several of these. So I will actually be reading the chat while I'm doing this, guys. So I'm going to prep this. So make the masa ball dough.
Daddy, did you win?
Hey, Mama.
I want to finish.
You want to try?
Yeah.
I'll give you a little bit of dough, okay? You can try with a little bit. Here.
Okay.
Here you go. Go over there on the table. My daughter loves cooking with me. She'll grab her little step stool and she'll come over and she'll say, "What are you doing, Daddy?" And she'll just tend to want to help. Sometimes, though, it's a little bit difficult because I tell her, "Be careful, it's hot," and she's already, not that she's burned herself, but she's gotten close to burning herself. So that's just something that, right now I figured I'd give her a little bit of dough and she can play with that. But anyway, guys, I hope everybody had a lovely holidays, whether it's New Year's or Christmas. I hope everybody enjoyed it and had a great time with family and friends. Let me know what you guys did. Did any of you get any new cast iron? I would like to know. Did any of you receive or give any cast iron, for that matter? As I said, I'd like to know, guys. Leave that in the chat. Yeah, this is like Play-Doh, guys. That's kind of what it feels like. It feels like Play-Doh. But very easy. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to actually press these out with a tortilla press. And I'll show you that in a minute. Now, I can't find my cast iron tortilla press, so I'm going to be using one of the ones that I have on hand, which is just a steel tortilla press that is enameled. Debbie says, "Oh, that's fantastic to teach her with safe cooking." Yes, and she gets it too. She's 3 years old, but she gets, she understands the concept. Hot, be careful. She understands that. So my boys, they like it, but not that much. I want to say my second son, my second middle child, I guess you could say. He's a middle child. He likes only baking with me, so he'll do baking, but when it comes to cooking, he's not interested. And my oldest, he doesn't like anything at all. Like, he doesn't like being in the kitchen. He doesn't like being around food. Sometimes the smells kind of get to him. He's very particular. He's very picky. But anyway, guys, so yes, let's see. Hippie Longshanks, I received a cast iron Dutch oven from you. Yes, I think that was the, was that the lodge, the vintage lodge? I think that was the one when I did the giveaway, correct? All right, guys, so pretty much a rough size here. I mean, they're not perfect, but you guys kind of get the idea. So there we have that. Next, we're going to actually just cover these because I'm not ready for that yet. So I'm just going to cover that. All right, guys. So next, we are going to add a little bit of oil. Actually, we're gonna cook the steak first. Then we'll fry up the masa tortillas, and I'll show you guys that in a bit. So let me move you guys once again. All right, guys, and the Lancaster that I have here, this one I've had for about 2 years now, for a long time. That one over there, my number 10, I've not had much time with it, and it's been kind of on and off, and the seasoning is just not to the point where I want it to be. So I figured maybe a little bit of deep frying would help. As you can see here, like in the sidewalls, like it was going good, and then I simmered something, and it just pretty much stripped it down. So we're just gonna slowly rebuild it by just frying and cooking and baking. But that's just why I decided to bring out the Lancaster. I haven't, featured it on the channel in a while, and I do love Lancaster as well. They have this skillet is lightweight. It's almost like a Griswold, and they don't have any of the, what do you call those things? The helper handles. It doesn't have it neither on the 10 nor the 8. So those are just little things that remind me of vintage cookware, which I like. It's very minimalistic, very simple, but it works, and I love the way it works. So anyway, let's get to cooking some steak. All right, guys, so we have some USDA choice. I got it at a good price. Just, what do they call it? Beef taco meat traditional. Not necessarily sure what that means, but we're going to be using this today. We're just going to use one packet. I have 2 of these, but I'm not going to be making too many. It's just me and my wife that are here, If I was cooking for a larger, like my entire family, it would be more, obviously. But so I figured this is good enough for us. All right, guys, so what I completely forgot to do was actually preheat my skillet. We're going to use a little bit of grapeseed oil. So I need to let that preheat, but let me go back to what you guys are talking about. Let's go back to the chat. Let's see. So what did you guys get? Any skillets? Any cast iron? Let's see. Strong's Adventure says, I got 2 pans from a friend from Pampered Chef and flat Griswold tortilla skillet. Tortilla skillet, a flat Griswold. Is it is that just like a griddle? Griddle? Strong's Adventure? Papa Dan says, received a Lodge casserole pan and a Lodge number 5 pan bush beans. Gave assortment of cast iron to 5 people, all new Lodge. That's awesome. I gave it's funny because I was planning on giving some cast iron to my family and my wife's family, and they all said no, we don't need any cookware, and I was like, shoot, okay, well, never mind, more for me. Anyway, let's see. Hippie Longshanks says, "Yep, the lodge trying to make a sourdough starter to honor it properly. Awesome." Yes, there are a lot of where I learned how to make my sourdough starter, which oddly enough I have it out right now. Here's my sourdough starter. So as you can see, it already rose and it's coming down right now. So I need to feed it again. But oddly enough, I just have this out right now. I'm planning on making a loaf by tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow, not today. Tomorrow because it's already too late. But anyway, I did a lot of research on YouTube, and that's the best place. Unless you have somebody around your family who knows how to do that stuff, then I would take it from them. But uh, nobody in my family knew how to do a sourdough starter, so I had to do my research. And sure enough, I found a lot of awesome information on YouTube. LAC says the Finex you sent is getting used well. It's such a neat piece. We love it. Thank you. You are welcome. And as I said, I always mention this. I do it for everyone that supports the channel, and for me, since I have so much and I receive some, I receive cast iron as well, guys. Not every single piece, it's minimal, but there are some things that Smithy sent me. I think it was a chain mail along with Field send me a chain mail. Um, I've gotten some like Marquette sent me a enamel Dutch oven. I received some cookware, not necessarily every single piece that I have, but I have received cookware to the point that obviously my collection is so big that I need to get rid of some of it, and that's when it comes into play. Where if I get new stuff, I give it out. So that's where you guys are getting the giveaways from. Is just from all the support from the channel. Oh, Strong's Adventure says it's the round one. Just call it a tortilla skillet because that is what my mom always used hers for. Yeah, and I actually just recently bought myself well, not necessarily bought it, but I've had uh, my mother's carbon steel. What do you call it? Like tortilla comal, comal. But my sister just put it away for a long time now that since my mother passed away, and I just decided to grab it and take it, and I haven't done anything with it yet. I need to season it, give it a couple rounds because it is rusty, and I'm gonna maybe fix it a little bit because it is warped. So I might heat it up and try and bend it back into shape. Since it's carbon steel, you can kind of do that. And so yeah, maybe it'll be a project I do on YouTube. Is everything okay, guys? Let me know if there's any issues with the stream, guys. All right, I think we're good enough now. We're gonna throw in the beef. All right, let's get to cooking. What I should have done was actually season this first, but well, I am running out of time, and I do want to get at least one showcased of the Gorditas, so hopefully I can do so while I'm doing all this. I mean, I'm hoping that it's not going to affect the taste too much of the meat, And like I said, I should have seasoned it first, but well, like I said, I'm kind of winging it right now. So what I do like using for my usually my taco meat is Lari's seasoned salt. It's really great. I like it a lot, and it gives it a great flavor. And I'm assuming that this is probably getting stuck. So we'll see. We're gonna add some more condiments to this in a minute. A little bit more seasoning to this. Kind of first want to get it out of that big old pile. Let's see. Next, we're gonna add a little bit more. Actually, a little bit more of this. Not too much. We're gonna do a little bit of minced onion. And also a little bit of garlic powder. To give it some flavor. Add a little bit more of oil, not too much. And we're gonna move that around. Oh, I think I need more heat. We're gonna crank up the heat to medium. That way I don't just have like a, like almost like a boiling of the meat. I want it to sear. The Lancaster also doing a great job. Nothing's getting stuck at the moment. Everything is moving around. So I like that. LAC says, hey, I bought my dad Kent Rollins all-purpose seasoning, and it's really good. I haven't actually tried any of the Kent Rollins seasoning. The only thing I did buy was actually his spatula, his cooking books, and one of his skillet handle holders. I want to say that's about it, but I haven't tried any of his seasonings. So that's something I got to give a try and see how it is. They do look great, though. I do like the flavors that he has on those, on his, pretty much what he cooks. It's like Tex-Mex or just sometimes even traditional Mexican food. He has a lot of that and a lot of obviously Southern food, but everything that he's done so far looks great. I don't think there's anything that I don't like that he's made. Everything looks great when every time he does a video. Honey Badger says, sorry about that. Hold on, let's see, what is Lari's seasoning. I can't even talk today. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Lari's seasoning. Lari's seasoning on pork chops and Mott's applesauce. The Brady Bunch recipe for pork chops and applesauce. I haven't tried that. Is this? Somebody said, what's Adam Cyril? Is that a Lancaster handle? That one looks more comfortable than mine. This handle holder, yes, that's a handle holder, and both of these skillets are Lancaster. Number 8 and a number 12. I'm sorry, 10, which is 12 inches. This one's 10 and a quarter-ish inches, and that one's 12. But the number sizing is number 8 and a number 10. I did hear from social media that Lancaster is actually thinking about bringing out a number 12, which would be technically like a 13 and 3/4, maybe 14 inch. Kind of wanted to avoid all this liquid in the meat, but well, we did not achieve that. So obviously that's going to boil off, and then we'll get some crisping to the meat. I don't want to dry it out too much though. It's kind of why I didn't want that to occur, but well, it happened. Oh, okay. Rick says, Lewis, I think they were asking about who makes the handle cover and who makes that wooden utensil you're using. So these wooden utensils, this one here, is actually made by my brother. I went and bought some mesquite, and I also bought some hickory, and he is a carpenter, so he made these for me. So this one's a kind of a unique piece because it does have like this almost natural look to it. So that's what he did with that. He made it flat on the underside. But yeah, so he made this, and then he made these little indentations here. There's little indentations, so if you want to hold it, it's comfortable to hold in the hand. And it is somewhat right-handed because obviously I'm right-handed, which I love using these a lot. But Kent Rollins actually makes one as well, and his is mesquite. And I actually have 2 extra ones that I don't use. They're brand new, and my brother made them. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway for those, but wasn't sure if people would be interested in that. Trying to get the meat to sear. As I mentioned, I didn't want it to boil, but well, a little late for that. Do you guys have any tricks on how to not have the meat boil like that? Let me know in the comments. James Griffin says, if your brother wants to sell his spatulas, they look great and would be interested in buying one. No, I don't think he made some extras. I think he made me about 6 or 8 extras. I did some giveaways with them early last year. And so far this year, obviously I haven't done anything, but I do have, I think, 2 mesquite or actually they're not mesquite. I think they're hickory. I got 2 hickory that I might do. I might just do a giveaway with those guys. You know, with like a skillet. So probably a skillet or maybe a cast iron piece, and then do a giveaway with the spatulas as well. With the skillet. So if you get a skillet or you win the skillet, you also get the spatula. But as I mentioned, I wasn't sure if people were going to be interested, so that's why I kind of haven't really talked about them so much. But I don't know. It'd be something I'd talk to my brother to see if he wants to make more for me. And then, you know, if anything, I wouldn't sell them. I would give them away, guys. Rick says you need to have merch. Yes, I would like to. I'm thinking about it, actually. Also, for this year, I do have a plan, guys, that I want to necessarily, I don't necessarily have a plan yet, but I want to talk about it to you guys, and that's that I am thinking about making my own my own carbon steel skillet. Maybe just a project to see if I can make one myself. I do have the tools to do all that, so I might consider making myself a skillet, and I might just do like the video process of that and post those on YouTube for you guys. Well, Cynthia says, I hope he doesn't regret that. He should have a patent. You'd be surprised how people steal your idea. Yeah. Actually, we got the idea of these spatulas. We got them. Well, technically, we got the idea from Kent Rollins because that was the first time I saw it. I didn't even know that people were using wooden spatulas like this. And for me, these are great because I love using these. And every time I use them, I use a little bit of mineral cooking, like mineral oil that's food safe. And then it brings them back, and they maintain a great shape. They don't split. They don't get all destroyed. So they do work a lot. And obviously, if you're going to be doing this, there's no damage, no noise. Obviously, a lot of people don't like the noise, and neither do I. So for me, this is something that I like to use a lot. I like using the wooden spatulas, and I have several. So. And I use some for vegetables, some for meat, and or sometimes I mix and match them, but obviously I do clean them really well. All right, we are going to tone this down. I had it at a medium heat. And one thing that I like about Lancaster, guys, specifically the number 8, is that it has very thin sidewalls. It has a very thin bottom. Is it easy to work? No, actually, it's like this one here. It was on a medium high, and it hasn't warped or hasn't done anything crazy, and it responds to heat really well. Because I cranked up the heat, and obviously you can hear it now, searing the meat. But right now I cranked it down to a medium low, so I don't want to obviously burn this either or dry it out too much. And I want to say that this is getting close to being done, honestly. But there you go, guys. I think we're done with this. Just leave it here on a low setting. We're going to move on now to frying and making the tortillas, or the gorditas shell, I guess you could say. Let me go grab my press, and then I will move you guys so you guys can see. Now, I'm going to leave it up to you guys to keep an eye on my food while I'm in the garage to go grab my tortilla press. All right, guys. Hippie, I think it was Hippie Longshake, said he had the urge to stir it. Yes, thank you guys for watching the food. I took my phone out there and I was looking at the chat while I was gone. And I was outside kind of laughing to myself. But this is what makes it fun, guys. I enjoy chatting it up with you guys. And, showing you guys. My wife actually requested more recipes that are, Hispanic or Mexican. She says, you don't really do very many. And I said, I know, I really haven't thought about that. But yeah, I need to maybe change it up a bit, and we'll do more of the Mexican recipes that I know. And I can show you guys some of those recipes. Also, what's up date said, y'all don't let it burn. Thank you guys. Fisherman says yes, make some menudo. I'm thinking about maybe menudo, pozole, some Mexican like comfort food that would be like sopa de fideo, which is a like tomato-based noodle soup or pasta soup. Things of that nature. I want to do like comfort food, Mexican comfort food, street food as well. chilaquiles. I think I've done chilaquiles already, but my wife has a great recipe for chilaquiles that I learned from her, and I use her recipe to make her version, which now is the version that my family, like my sister, my brother, everybody loves eating now. They don't like because the way we used to make our chilaquiles was very, very soggy, very liquidy, and my wife's was more of a nacho style where it's crunchy. You don't leave the tortillas like in the sauce. You pretty much cover them in the sauce, and then you take them out, and then serve a plate with cheese, mozzarella, lettuce or cabbage, whatever your preference is, and then cilantro, salsa. I'm sorry, salsa, and then an egg if you want it in for breakfast, things like that. But anyway, let's move on. Let's keep going. I'm gonna actually turn this off and move it. So we'll keep it here. Just move it out of the way. And we're gonna move on to make the gordita shells or the tortillas. So bear with me while I move you guys. All right. Sorry about all the moving around. Oh, this is my drink right here. I take this around. Got a bunch of stickers on it, places I've been. But anyway, let's move that out of the way. All right, guys. So this is my tortilla press. Pretty big guy. I guess we could leave it like that. All right. Let me go grab the masa, and we'll get going.
Dad, why is this happening?
Also, guys, I forgot to mention I gotta actually preheat the oil, so that way we can get some of these fried up. So bear with me.
Why is this happening? Dad, where's the black of the charter? I checked everywhere for that. I checked like everywhere. I checked everywhere for it. But I don't know where it is. I didn't check the blankets. It's probably in the blanket.
Sorry about that, guys. Just getting things ready.
Whoa.
All right. Sorry about that. Let's get started. And actually, I totally forgot. I forgot the cheese. So before we get started with that, I actually have to grate some cheese because we're gonna add that in the. We're gonna use some of this cheese. All right, guys. Sorry about this unorganized live. Wish it would be better. All right, need to open this guy. Easy peel. That's never the case for me. I don't have any nails. I got some fat fingers. It's always difficult for me to open these darn things up. But, well, I managed. There we go. What the heck? I put this in the inside? I didn't know that. All right, we're gonna grate some cheese. Trying to go as fast as I can so that way I can make all of this before I end the live. I usually tend to go over the 1 hour mark. So usually I have you guys here for an hour and a half or two, and I don't know if you guys, are okay with that or not. And as I said, sorry, I should have done this earlier. I don't know what I was doing. I actually have the adapter to my KitchenAid mixer. I bought the adapter to grate cheese, but well, I'm kind of in a rush, and I figured this would just be a lot quicker since I don't want to set it up. I want to say I'm going to do about maybe 3/4 of this cheese block. So technically these are like quesadilla gorditas. Gorditas. I'm saying it with an accent. But yeah, so we're gonna make these into a tortilla style and then fold them in half, fill them with cheese, and then fry them. After they fry, then you can actually open them up like an oyster and then fill them up with the meat, the lettuce or cabbage, the salsa, some casero cheese, which is crumbly cheese, and it's very, very good. So, come on, get out, cheese. My wife is very contradictory. She says, you always take forever to make a simple meal. And I said, that's because I'm actually doing everything. Like instead of buying the grated cheese, I grate my own cheese. I don't buy salsa made already. I make my own salsa. I don't skip steps. And when I do, she complains. She's like, well, this doesn't taste as great as I thought it would. And I said, well, I cut corners. And when you cut corners, what happens, guys? So it's funny. She'll say, well, she's like, I can't have both of best worlds, I guess. She's like, I like when you take your time because the food tastes great. But at the same time, I don't like it because it takes longer and I'm hungry. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell her. Anyway, guys, let's keep going. Bullies. That's funny. We have, so everybody say hi to Fabiola Carrillo. She is family. She is pretty much like a sister to me because I met her when we were pretty much teenagers in high school, and she's actually my wife's cousin. Very, very closely related. And as I mentioned, we went to high school together, and obviously we've been family for, what now, 15, 16, 20 years maybe? So yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. Alright guys, so I do recommend that you have a plastic of some sort. I don't recommend Ziploc. It usually gets stuck, so maybe like paper from the like bags from the grocery store to put in your produce. That usually helps. That works really well. And it's that texture that I'm using, the plastic, and it works really great. So anyway, we're gonna mash it. I made it into a little ball. Gonna mash it, and then one little squeeze. We're gonna flip it around, guys. And I should have made them a little bit bigger, but well, Now it's a little too late for that. We're kind of on a time crunch. So as you can see here, this is what we're looking for. And then what I like to do is once you have it here, then you can fold it in half. Fold it in half. And there you have your little, well, I would say fold it in half and pinch it together. Pinch it together here on the edges. And then there you have one. So I have one ready. I'm going to put it here onto the side. Continue with the rest. Hippie Longshanks says, do you get to eat his yummy food? I'm jealous. Yes, she does. She gets to try it. Whether it's yummy or not, I that's up to her to say. Mash, and then give it a mash. Flip it around. Give it one more mash. And there we go, guys. Easy peasy. Nothing too crazy about this. Can't really go wrong by making these. See, now she's just gonna she's gonna put me out here in the, tell you guys that I don't cook that often, but I do, and we honestly haven't gotten together in a while, and I have actually, let's be honest, I have taken food to her and her family for them to eat. Whether it's snacks or here and there, I think I've given her burgers, maybe some desserts, I can't remember. But yes, she is correct. Not very often do I share. Only when we get together and when we have parties do I get to share my food. Darn it, you're out here airing my dirty laundry. We are neighbors, not a long walk away, I know. Yes, I hear you. Well, you're watching this live. Later, expect a plate of these gorditas then. All right? And then let me know what you think. You can post it on you can post it on Instagram. Let the people know if it was any good. Actually, I don't know if you have Instagram. So as I mentioned, guys, very simple, very easy to make. Technically, these need to be a little bit bigger, but the dough balls that I made are a little bit smaller than what maybe I should have done a bit bigger, a tad bigger. That way they could be filled up a little bit better. But anyway, let's keep going. Now, and if you don't want to do the half moon shape, you can do like one of these and then put another one on top and kind of like do it that manner. But then obviously you have less. So for me, I want to have enough so that I can share. So as I was saying, if you want to do like a round gordita, if you want it round, what you can do is do this, add the cheese on top, and then do another tortilla and then lay it on top. And then cover it, obviously, or, pinch it together. But we're going this route, which I feel like is still okay. So you guys will get to see once this fries up. Then obviously you're gonna be able to open them up and then stuff them with the ingredients that we had over there earlier. Also, I feel like my dough is starting to kind of dry out, so I'm trying to work as fast as I can. You don't want your dough to dry out. If it does, you can actually just add a bit of water to your hands and then roll them once again, and it'll absorb that water from your hands. So that way you can, that way they won't be so dry. I want to say we're about halfway done with these. The oil is starting to heat up, so we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Once that's done, then we'll stuff them, and then that's about it. My sister's in the chat as well, guys. She says, save me some, or save me one. No, I'm not going to share with you. My wife says, why are you always mean? And she always, my sister always tells me that she says, why do you always exclude me from the giveaways? And I tell her, I said, because you don't even like cast iron. I even offered to give it out as a gift and nobody wanted it. She doesn't say anything after that. Alright guys, so anyway, I'm always happy to see my sister in the chat and family. Thank you guys for supporting. And as always, all you guys as well. I appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel and tunes in every Thursday, at least every Thursday that I plan to do the lives. I appreciate the time. I do like hanging out with you guys, and it's actually pretty entertaining. And this is why I do it, because not only do I get to share what recipes, but I also get to share common interests like cast iron cookware, cooking techniques, cooking tips, and things of that nature. So as I mentioned, thank you to everybody who is here in the video, just chatting it up. As I mentioned, I do appreciate all that. Alright guys, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Now, I'm just hoping right now, because I'm stacking them up on each other, that they don't get stuck to each other. That's the plan. Hopefully they don't. So keep your fingers crossed. That way that they don't stick together. Because that would just be bad. Jeanette, be nice to your sister. I know. I tend to be a jerk. I'll be honest. I tend to be a jerk to my sisters. But isn't that what the job of a brother is? I gotta toughen them up, because the real world is, I'll be honest, the real world is mean. That's what I tell my son too. I said, the real world is mean. I said, it's my job to toughen you up and show you tough love. And that's what I tell my sister, but she says, she knows. We have a good relationship. She knows when I'm being, a smart ass, just to be a smart ass, but not to be malicious. We've never gotten to that point. All right, we got about 4 more to go, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And as I said, hopefully cross your fingers, guys, that these don't stick together because, well, that would just be tragic. All right. I do want to say that I'm a little disappointed that these things are so tiny. I wish they were a little bit bigger. Cynthia Wesley says, Lewis, that is your job. My brother's job was needed and necessary, getting us ready for the clown. Seriously. See, there you go. But Jeanette, yes. Thank you, Jeanette, for you know, always humbling me, guys. Keep me on my toes. Don't let me think that I'm a YouTube superstar, because I'm not. You guys get me all excited by, you know, telling me that you guys want merch. Over here, it's going to get to my head. Don't tell me those things. Just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Appreciate all the support. Fabiola Carrillo says, I need an apron. I, just received an apron for Christmas from my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law. And sadly, I'm not using it today because, well, as I said earlier, I'm just kind of rushing through all this. That way I can at least show you guys one finished product of a gordita. But yes, aprons do come in handy, and I love using my apron. Papa Dan says, let's see, what did you say, Papa Dan? I was reading it. So you season your daily users and they turn gray. Yeah, typically when that happens, and that's happened to me as well, is when they're nice and nice and dark, nice and black, and then the seasoning turns gray, is because your oven heat was too high, or perhaps you left it in there too long. Either way, yeah, I mean, you can bring them back. That's not a big deal. What I would recommend is just give it a quick wash to ensure that it didn't carbonize or turn into carbon. Because if that does happen and you season it over again, it's gonna start leaving that black residue that a lot of people complain about, or that ends up happening to them, and it's usually because that initial seasoning that you might have had on your skillet turned into carbon from obviously being too hot, and then it leaves that ashy residue on your skillet. So I would recommend you give it a good wash and make sure that you don't have that residue on your skillet. And then if you don't, obviously, then just continue seasoning the way you do. And I trust, Papa Dan, you are very experienced with seasoning, so I won't even get into that. All right, guys, one more. We're almost done. That was a little tedious, to be honest. Usually I have my somebody helping me out, so somebody would be pressing these, and then I'd be frying just to crank these out a lot quicker. But, well, it's just me today. My wife is upstairs in her room, hanging out, I'm sure. That's okay, don't mind. I prefer to be, in the kitchen, specifically when I'm at my house by myself. I feel like I can concentrate a lot more. I don't know if you guys feel the same way when you guys are home cooking, but for me, it's almost like a way of concentrating a little bit better. My wife, though, doesn't take it that way. She thinks I don't like her in the kitchen. That's not the case. All right. Well, let's get going. Finally. And just so you guys see, I do have some leftover cheese, obviously. But you're not gonna discard this, obviously. I'm gonna use it for more, obviously, when we cook these. So I'll be throwing some more cheese into the tortilla filling. But, all right, guys. Let's get moving back onto the stovetop. So bear with me while I move you. Oh my goodness, and I'm over here and my stove is on fire. And I would recommend you don't leave your stuff unattended like I did. We're going to be using some avocado oil. We're going to add some more to bring down that temperature, because obviously this is smoking, which means it's blazing hot. And as you can see, that stops it from smoking. Now we're going to continue, guys. Oh yeah. Hippie Longshank says he has the urge to stir. So do I. So I'm going to stir for you. Actually, what I'm going to do is actually put this on a low. That way it can heat up once more. And leave that there. We're going to fry up the masa tortillas. Alright guys, here we go. I'm going to re-pinch them just to make sure that we don't have any of that cheese falling out. Like this one opened up, I didn't pinch it that well. I'm gonna pinch it again. And they do cook up pretty quickly, guys, so make sure that you flip pretty much once you put them in there. Give them a flip, that way they don't burn on you. And as I said earlier, well, actually, as you guys saw, the oil was blazing hot, which I don't have a thermometer on it, but I'm sure it's well above the 400s. Hopefully it's, well, no, most likely now in the maybe 370s, because it did cook up this gordita pretty quickly, just so you guys can see. Oh man, you guys can't see that. The lighting. So that's technically where you want it at. And they're not going to be in here for too long. Just enough to make sure, just ensure that they're crispy. almost like puffy tacos. Almost, but not necessarily the same. And then also you're going to want a somewhere to place them, so I would recommend a, what do they call those? One of those racks. I'll show you guys. We're going to be placing it on a wire rack. Also to make sure that we can drain some of that oil. Alright guys, this one is definitely ready. These are ready. Alright, we're going to keep on going, guys. I'll show you guys in a minute what it looks like. But apparently I did not do a good job crimping these. What you can do is just kind of fold it over a little bit. And they are getting a little bit stuck in the like together, so kind of having a hard time, guys. As I mentioned, typically you want to be making these and frying at the same time, but usually that requires a little bit of help, and I don't have much of that today. Usually my sister, which is here in the chat, she's usually helping me doing this. Oh, oops, I just bumped the tripod. So as you can see, they cook pretty quickly, guys. It's not very long. Honestly, it just takes more time to prep them, to get them ready. And I'll show you guys what I mean by the consistency of what you're looking for to know how they're, to know if they're ready or not. Typically, and I'm going to take you guys over here, but anyway, that's what it looks like. And that's what we're looking for. This is the consistency. So as you can see, melty cheese in there. We're gonna use a butter knife and open this up. We're gonna place our ingredients in there. So these are looking great. This is what we're looking for. This is the the texture we're looking for. This one probably could have done a little bit more, but that's still fine. So anyway, that's what we're looking for. Fabiola says, DoorDash it to me. Yeah, I'll drop some off to you. Because I have, let's see, we got 4 there, 4 here. We have, what's 4 times 3, guys? 12? Adam says, what kind of sides are you cooking with it? So I have the asada. I also have some cabbage that we're gonna add. So we're gonna add cabbage, asada. Those are the what are going inside. But for a side, not necessarily anything else. Usually this is like a good meal. But you can do rice. You can do beans as a side. But if you want these are pretty filling, guys. And as I mentioned, you get to add the cabbage. You get to add the meat, more cheese, and salsa. Cynthia Wesley says, you got my email, send mine through. Hippie Longshank says, dinner at Fabiola's. My sister says, I'm at your house, outside your house. Let me get one. No, she's not. She's a liar. She's not here. As I said, guys, this is pretty quick. Honestly, you know, I dragged it because I'm trying to show everything and show every steps. But usually this is a pretty quick meal, guys. This is something you guys can do in about 1 hour. Have it all ready within 1 hour. Not that difficult, not that hard. And it's very delicious. So if you guys want to try, as I said, follow the instructions to your masa harina. Do that. Do everything that you guys saw what I was doing. Use a tortilla press. Usually that works great. My only recommendation is use a bigger, you know, use more dough. Mine were a little bit smaller, but that's okay. Not a big deal. And if you don't want to do steak, you can do chicken as well. You can do some chicken breast, chicken thigh, whatever kind of meat you prefer. Or you can even do chorizo with potato or potato. We've done those and we like those a lot. We also just do at my family's, at my mom's house, we do mozzarella cheese and mushroom, and that's about it. And then we add the salsa, the cheese, more cheese, the cabbage, and we eat a vegetarian style. Fabiola says carnitas would be good. Yes, actually I've heard people do carnitas as well. So technically you can add whatever. You can make it vegetarian, or you can make it, you know, a normal gordita. All right. And I mean, who doesn't like deep fried goodness? You know? I think everybody likes something that's deep fried. Whether it's desserts or whether it's food. I think that's one thing that everyone can agree on is deep fried food is, you know, delicious. And the one thing too, be very cautious when you put these in the oil. I'm sure there's a better method, but that's the way I do it, and it just works. Hippie Longshanks, I'm stirring the meat. It's on a low, so it's just pretty much warm, but it looks good to me. Shout out to you guys for not letting me burn my food. Actually, I should be knocking on wood because we still have these. Hopefully I don't burn them. Rick says nopal. Yes, nopal is cacti or cactus. And that's also very delicious. You can actually make a pico with that and add the cacti or cactus to it. Very delicious. And yes, you do have to cook it. I don't think you can eat that raw. Wait, what are you guys talking about over here? Louise saying if we suffer, she gotta suffer with us, with his fans. Honey Badger says deep fried was sent down from God. No, Hippie Longshanks, that wasn't the doorbell. My sister, don't eat mine. Goodness sakes. We made these the whole summer. We got to the point that it was too much. Yeah, don't do that either, guys. I almost splashed oil in my face. As I mentioned, not the best. I would recommend to use 2 spatulas, which technically is what I usually do. I usually use 2 spatulas to flip them. But I'm lazy right now and I don't want to wash more stuff. Hello, time's up. Welcome to the live stream. We are making gorditas. We're using the Lancaster number 10 and the Lancaster number 8. We're making asada here. Well, we already made it. And we're frying some masa harina gorditas. And we got some cabbage over there. We got some salsa over there. And I actually need to cut the cheese. Not like that, guys. Actually, I need to crumble the cheese. All right, guys, we're getting close to being done. That way I can actually start. Actually, I could probably start making one now, so you guys see. But I do have to crumble some cheese, so let me get to that. All right. These are taking a bit longer, don't know why, but that's okay with me. They're getting there. All right, so let me show you guys what the cheese is that I'm trying to crumble. So if you guys have not tried this cheese, I recommend that you guys go to your grocer and try this cheese. So this cheese is called queso fresco, and it's a crumbly cheese, but it tastes delicious. Very mild flavor, very, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just, nothing strong, obviously. And it's not like cotija. No, this isn't like cotija. Cotija is dry. This one is not. It's creamy. And here you can see where it says fresh. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it says fresh crumbling cheese. So make sure your cheese is crumbly, and it has to say queso fresco. And if you guys can't find it, I also recommend this brand. This brand, queso fresco. This you could probably find anywhere, any grocer, Walmart, anywhere technically you can find this. And it's queso fresco crumbling cheese. Try it. Try it. If you guys have some tortillas at home, some corn tortillas, just cut a slice of this and try it with a corn tortilla. Believe me, it sounds very simple, very plain, but it tastes amazing. Anyway, that's the cheese that we're going to use, along with more mozzarella. Alright guys, so as you can see, this one had some cheese that melted out of it, and right now they look super greasy, but they are delicious. So that is what we're looking for. That is what we want. Greasy, delicious goodness. Now, is this a healthy meal? Not even close. No, this is not healthy. But is it delicious? Yes. So, this is what they look like after they've obviously had some time to dry up. These are the fresh ones. And that's what that is. So those are the gorditas. Let's put one together. I gotta turn down my fan. That thing is crazy loud. But yes, these are the gorditas. And I'm not gonna touch that one because that one's super hot. But show you guys what the I'll show you guys here. Let me put you guys in a place that I can show you guys. That way I don't get you guys dizzy. All right. Hopefully this will do. Okay, so let's start prepping. Bear with me real quick. I forgot that I'm over here talking and chatting it up, and I'm not even paying attention to what I need. So, crumbly cheese. I did mention we need crumbly cheese. And we don't need a lot, just a little bit. So I do want to say thank you to everybody who has been here, who gave a donation. Actually, I just saw that. Whoever gave the donation, thank you very much. I did not see it until right now. But yes, let's keep going. All right, so this is what the crumbly cheese looks like. And you don't have to have any special tools to just crumble it. I'd say just grab a plate and then just pretty much crumble it. Crumble it with your fingers. As I mentioned, this is not cotija. Cotija has more of a, I mean, it's a very pungent smell. I'll be honest. It's almost smells like foot, but it tastes great. Cotija cheese tastes good, but not on everything. This one tastes great on a lot of food. You know, and if you want to use a grater, yeah, that grater will, like a cheese grater, that'll work great. But to avoid washing more stuff, we're just gonna crumble it with our hands. So that's what it looks like, crumbly cheese. All right, guys. So let's get one ready. Getting my plate ready and getting the fancy china out. Just kidding, guys. Just simple plates. My typical plates that I like to use. Anyway, here we go. Don't need the spatula right now. Don't know why I have it here. All right, we're gonna open up this one. I recommend just a butter knife. You don't have to use anything fancy. Or maybe you do. Oh, come on. There. As you can see, I butchered it, so maybe use something sharper than a butter knife. Anyway, let's keep going, guys. We're gonna add some of that beef, some steak. You see there. We're gonna add some cheese. And some cabbage. If you don't like cabbage, you can do lettuce as well. But we like cabbage. So just pretty much stuff it in there. And then we do a little bit of our salsa, which I still haven't taken out of my blender. So bear with me, guys. Here is my avocado green salsa. And typically I would throw in some avocado in there as well, but since the salsa is avocado, no point in doing that. So and there's one gordita for you guys to see. Get another one. This one here looks like it has a good amount of cheese in it. So I'm going to use a sharp knife. Instead of doing what I was doing with the butcher, or I'm sorry, the butcher knife. Instead of doing the butter knife. And obviously be careful when you cut these in half. You can see all the melty cheese in there. I wish I could grab one and present it well, but it doesn't look like it. Add some of that steak. This time we're going to go with salsa first. Then we got the cheese. And some cabbage. So, quick presentation, guys, just so you guys can see. This is what we have. Gorditas. Well, with that said, guys, that is the end of the live. You can add anything to this. I mean, you can add chicken, you can add potato, chorizo, sausage, longaniza, anything you want. You can make it vegetarian. Just add some mushroom and cheese, and then add these ingredients. And as I said, pretty simple dinner, and it tastes amazing. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get more of these prepped and start feeding everybody. So, hope you guys enjoyed this live. I had a great time, guys. I think it's a great way to start the year. So, thank you for everybody who has been here. Thank you for whoever gave the donation. And yeah, so I got to deliver some of these actually to Fabiola, and I got to give some to my wife. And for my sister, I'll just make you some other day, because I no way I'm gonna go drive all the way where you're at, and I don't expect you to come over here. So, anyway, with that being said, guys, I will catch you guys on the next one. The Lancasters did a great job. No issues with that at all. So very happy with that. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will catch you guys on the next live. Have a good night, everybody.